Brotherhood. Say it aloud and people will flinch away or get a bad taste in their mouth. 99% of moderns have no sense for brotherly love or true friendship. In fact, we call it gay. And if it's not gay, then it's evil, sexist, or weak. Brotherhood has died. And along with it, the main force that built civilization and that made men strong and dangerous to tyrants. Let's talk about brotherhood. Welcome back to Wisdom Warriors. My name is Christian. Plato, Alexander the Great, the Medicis, the leaders of the Renaissance and the leaders of the Enlightenment and scientific revolution, the founding fathers of America. What do they all have in common? Well, they were all part of brotherhoods. Whether it was royal courts or secret cults, fraternities are the foundation of almost everything you see in the modern world. Don't believe me? Let's go deeper. Aristocratic brotherhood was the foundational idea behind philosophy academies and higher education, behind elite combat units and secret societies like Freemasonry. And if we're being honest, these are the three prime forces that actually built and progressed civilization. These were the thinkers, the fighters, and the builders. The founding fathers and most of the greatest scientists or leaders you can think of were all part of Masonry or esoteric brotherhoods like the Royal Society in some way, and we seriously underestimate this influence. Even in tribal settings, the male ritual cult was central. Joseph Campbell covered this extensively. The male council is what initiated younger men into manhood and wisdom. Unfortunately, I say all this and people will be skeptical or triggered. Brotherhood has gotten a bad name. Not only have institutions like the church and Freemasonry fallen, but many moderns distrust men-only spaces altogether. Great societal forces have destroyed fraternity, and men have been atomized, neutered. Brotherhood, the most natural foundation of friendship and strength within society, has been lost. To understand brotherhood, we must understand true friendship, the type of friendship that was venerated in the ancient and classical worlds. For instance, Alexander the Great and Hephaestion, Achilles and Patroclus. Their friendships ring through the ages. We so misunderstand the tremendous brotherly love between these heroes that modern media makes them out to be gay based on little. We simply can't fathom the fact that the love between great and noble friends can outstrip that of romantic lovers. But everyone from Emerson to Plato to Montaigne, they venerated friendship as a divine force. For Plato, friendship constituted a spiritual bond and a co-striving for virtue and wisdom. And he believed it is through a true friend that the philosopher is elevated to the divine. More than just philosophy, though, true friendship is the force that inspired most great voyages, conquests, and acts of genius. For example, it spurred Lewis and Clark across the frontier. True friendship is the force that inspired Wilbur and Oliver Wright to invent the airplane, something once thought totally bonkers and impossible. And it's also the force that underlied the great geniuses of history, like Nietzsche and Wagner, or Goethe and Schiller. Have you ever had a friend like that, where your conversations would light fires and grand adventures, where your personalities synergized, and with time, your mutual love only grew deeper? This true friendship has always been uncommon, but in the modern day, it's exceedingly rare, if not completely absent. Most men lack all semblance of brotherhood, let alone the love Achilles felt for Patroclus, yet most men secretly want it. Beneath the lust and distraction sold to us, men crave this, a friend that knows your heart and mind through and through and shares your ambitions, a brother who loves you and is by your side for life. In the absence of such brotherhood, mentors, and grand friendships, most men only seek riches and women. Many settle for the family life sold by a bourgeois society. No shade on women or family here, I treasure both. But brotherhood must return to the center of man's values and ambitions if we want to create flourishing lives and flourishing communities once again. Even if I had the best family in the world and all the riches and women just lining up for me, I would still crave a great mission and comrades at my side. It's what I most want, and it might sound cringy, but I think for the sensitive and noble men out there, you probably want the same thing, even if it's buried deep in your heart. And if that is you, I do invite you to our men's community. We're trying to start solving this problem first online and then in real life, and I'm looking for the other leaders out there who want to share in this mission with me. If that's you, you can apply, link below. But regardless whether or not you join my tribe, it's time that we rebuild our wolf packs and take on life with a chosen family, with brotherhood, or else life feels ultimately hollow in the end. Part 3, a healthy nation equals healthy friendships. Before we get into building brotherhood anew, let's understand this critical point. We have been programmed to see brotherhood as evil, when in fact true male friendships and bands of brothers are traditionally what have protected society from tyrants. They are tyrant repellent. This idea lies at the foundation of America, where each town had a militia of farmers armed to the teeth. The ancient Greeks also thought democracy would only function if men were closely bonded in brotherhoods, because then they would rebel if a tyrant ever lorded power over them. Atomized and disconnected men, on the other hand, are very easy to control and will often step back instead of stepping forward. So it's no surprise that centralized power throughout history has always sought to destroy fraternity. Perhaps this is why we have seen the death of brotherhoods and male-only spaces. Not only do they make men strong, they make men free. Think back to the most healthy and joyous times in your life. I have a suspicion they were when you had great friends around you, when you were doing things together. In my own life, having great brothers at my side makes me feel unstoppable, and it has this foundation of love and support that we all need. The friendship I'm looking for and cultivating in my life is not just about getting beers on Saturday or playing volleyball or watching sports at the Coliseum. It's about building a new culture and a deeper sense of camaraderie and a shared mission together. It's about intertwining our destinies. And this is what is so hard to do in the modern day. And that's because most men don't work together. You see, men bond shoulder to shoulder. And if we don't have a shared project or a shared mission, most men just go their own way. And that brings us to part 4, building brotherhood, which is a fuck you to modernity. The need for brotherhood is not in popular modern consciousness yet. I meet many stellar guys, for instance, but I quickly learned that they don't actually prioritize friends, not like me anyways. And furthermore, our society pushes men apart. How many men your age do you see regularly? Of them, how many share your culture and lifestyle? Of these, how many do you get to interact with in meaningful ways? Very, very few. Social media, transplanting, comfort, lack of interdependence, and a lack of a shared mission. You can pick your cause here, but ultimately, brotherhood and male friendships have fallen apart. I've discussed this in many videos, but I'll break down a few main points of what we need to do to rebuild the brotherhoods that we want to see. Step 1 in building brotherhood is you need to build your familiar world, which is the top of the funnel, which is how many peers and people your age you know. You can do this both online and in real life. I've met most of my best friends in my inner circle from 2 places, festivals and conferences, and then YouTube and the internet and the Men's Academy. Is by actively engaging, with content online, talking to other creators, using YouTube to filter the entire world, to filter billions of people, you can actually connect with people who are highly aligned with you, even in your local area. And also going to meetups, going to events, going to combat sports, sauna, cold plunge centers, like going to places consistently in your local environment where you can meet people. Once you have these 2 filters set up, these bigger funnels, what you need is a shared ritual. Okay, this is step 2. I was just talking to a client of mine and talking about building a brotherhood, beach wrestling. Like, it sounds homo, but this is one of the most fun things in the world to do, is draw a circle and start, a playful bout of wrestling with your friends, have a barbecue and beers going and other beach games, and invite your male friends there every Sunday. Invite people that you meet at the festival, at the conference, at the dance to come bond. You need a shared ritual that's really fun you can invite people into. And I even do this online through the Men's Academy, is we have different calls, we have different focus groups and shared projects going on. So I can meet people through something like YouTube and be like, hey, come join us every week at this time, and let's like build a relationship through doing this thing together, right? And once you have a shared ritual, which is step 2, you go to step 3, which is figuring out how to have a shared project and a shared mission together. This is the step that's so rare, right? But if you find a homie that also wants to start a woodworking center, it's like, stop doing it alone. We have all of these solo creators and solo entrepreneurs going their own way. I'm like, guys, just find the others and band together. This is how you actually create deep team, like a sense of team, a sense of brotherhood, a sense of partnership that is even stronger than any romantic partner you ever have, right? Now, again, there's a lot of issues with business partners and with these kinds of things, but we all need to start experimenting again, because the way the world's going right now, we can't keep going that way. So the step 3 is a shared project, a shared frontier, a shared mission. And step 4 is, besides finding each other and creating deeper bonds, what we all need to commit to is creating a new culture of what it means to be a man, of what it means to relate to one another, and a shared ideal, a shared sense of transcendence, what I call the cathedral consciousness that we're building back in ourselves and at the center of our brotherhood and at the center of our community. My friends, if we don't have a shared language and a shared ideal and spiritual connection, men will continue to drift away and will lack the bonds we really need to see. So it's about actively building a new culture online and in real life. This is what I'm dedicated to, my friends. I love brotherhood almost more than anything, and I think brotherhood is what will save the world, because it's the thing that built the world, it's the thing that protects the world, and it's the thing that will revive the Western society and create communal flourishing once again. So if you want to join me, you can talk to me, link below to talk to me one-on-one and join our community. And if not, my friends, just go become a leader in your own community. Become a leader online. Become a leader in any way you can and start rebuilding your wolf pack. You can click here for that video about modern male isolation and how to start rebuilding that wolf pack, or here for a video YouTube thinks you'll like. This is Wisdom Warriors. I'm Christian. Peace.